in case you guys want to know which products I used, I already showed it in the video, but if you want like a detailed thing, I'll just put in the comments. If you want, just tell me in the comments and I'll just give it to you in the comments. And what I was watching was Mr. Beast. No, sorry, Mr. Ballon. And Mr. Ballon is so fun. I love Mr. Ballon. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm gonna be trying to do the Latina makeup. And I have tried it before. I have tried it like 2-3 times, but I never used enough foundation or concealer, so it just never worked out. So I'm gonna try it today once again, and hopefully it works out this time kind of better, you know. Also, I had some people in my comments talk about my English accent, but you have to understand one thing, that I am not a native English speaker. English is my second language, so that's how my accent's gonna turn out, and maybe in the future I can make it better, I guess. I don't know. I really don't care.
Looked at each other like, it's right on top of us, what's going on? And then as this tapping continued, they realized it was basically right below them, almost like it was leaned back in her chair, just kind of trying to get out of, was also known as the dancing plague, causes your body, and the person who has this condition is often totally unaware of. These people can flail around suddenly and not even know they're doing it. And so what was happening in the tapping syndrome, because it was being caused by Synonym's Korea. Now it seems like, well, how did Mary catch on that her own daughter is tapping her feet or flicking her hair? Was when the tapping first started, a lot of times made the tapping sounds. So her daughter, because she doesn't know she's making them, and Mary, and then before long, they had kind of gone down this path of, it's my dead husband, it's my dead father, he's the one making these sounds, and then it's like they had tunnel vision, as did all the other neighbors, as did the reporters. Everybody wanted this in some ways to be a haunting. And so the haunting began, and they hear this really intense, close tapping sound, when Mary kind of...
We have got to the point where literally the same usability we all know. Now I'm going to add one more feature, so every idea that I favorite will turn into a kickoff prompt to start building the app itself. And that's it.
One afternoon in November of 2021, a middle-aged woman named Nicole Petit was on break at her job in the city of Decatur, Alabama. And while she was sitting in the break room, she pulled out her phone and called her 21-year-old daughter, Hannah. The phone rang a couple of times. Then eventually it's yelling and running around and crashing into things, so clearly it was just chaos over there. But Nicole knew Hannah could not just be tired from attending to her kids, because over the last couple of months, what Nicole had noticed was every time she spoke to her daughter, whether her daughter's kids were going crazy or not, Hannah just completely sounded under the weather. And in fact, Hannah often was complaining, again, over the past few months. And so she kind of pushed that idea aside. Her daughter is not better. She's still feeling awful. She knew trying to push her daughter to go see the doctor wasn't going to work. So instead, she said, okay, Hannah, when's Brian going to be home? Brian was Hannah's husband. And Hannah just sighed and she said, oh, he's not home yet. I don't know when he's going to be here. He was a very successful chiropractor. And in fact, he'd had so much success at his private practice that recently he'd even been able to fully renovate his building. And so with this new building and all this extra space and all this new staff, he was working even more than usual, which, is very important. But also worked full time. And so she couldn't just be around all the time to help with her daughter. She told her daughter, like, hey, I really think you ought to go to the doctor. Whatever you need, don't let logistics be the reason you don't see a doctor. Like, whatever you need, you let me know and I will help you if I can. I'll flex my schedule to accommodate yours. But like Hannah, I'm sure this will pass. Nicole said that she loved her, and she could say she was this tough, hard-charging woman. She was going to just grit this one out. But then finally, in January, and by this point, Hannah can't argue with the fact on a swivel chair, like a desk chair, and just pushes herself around the house. I mean, she is absolutely sick, and it's 2022. Hannah says, okay, Mom, I'll go to the hospital. Nicole, in some ways, was incredibly relieved that finally her daughter is doing the thing she should have been. But regardless, Nicole's like, great. She tells her daughter, I'm going to come over. She looks like she weighs less than 100 pounds, along with Nicole and the kids. And a nurse comes in, and they begin checking Hannah's vital signs and asking her some questions. And they also weighed Hannah. And eventually, after way below what's considered healthy. This is like emergency. And based on the other things you're telling me about over the last few months, months having these symptoms, I'm worried you might actually have stomach cancer. Now, even though Nicole had anticipated that something seriously was wrong with her daughter, it still hit her like a freight if she actually had stomach cancer. Now, the doctor said it was entirely possible this could be something else. But again, based on all the symptoms you've described and the sudden extreme weight loss, unfortunately, this thing sped over to her daughter's house. And when she found Hannah inside, it was like her daughter was dying. So she scooped her daughter up and she rushed her into the hospital. Later that day, Hannah was in a hospital room and was stabilized. When she had come in, she actually was showing acute respiratory failure, which basically meant her lungs were shutting down, dying. But they had been able to stabilize Hannah, and she was now resting in bed. We really don't know what's going on here. All we can do is keep her here, keep her in his brain. The seizure is a brain-related event. And as they're looking into Hannah's brain, they discover that she has also contracted her brain to go down. But what that meant functionally was that Hannah would be in this coma indefinitely until the swelling goes down in her brain, or in particular, there were these imaging tests that came back from her abdomen. They scanned her abdomen, and what they discovered inside Hannah's entire spots were not cancer. They were something worse. And Hannah's husband, Ryan, he's the very successful chiropractor. Well, his practice had been so successful that he had had the funds to fully renovate his office and build this bigger, better chiropractic walls. But lead is incredibly toxic and harmful to humans, especially if you ingest it or you touch it. It's not something you really want to interact with at all. Were done, and the X-ray room was built. There were several sheets of lead that didn't make it into the walls. They were sort of extra sheets of lead that just didn't get used. So they were shaving them off and planting them inside of Hannah's vitamins that she took religiously every day, believing those were the things that were going to make her healthy again. But in reality, sort of ironically, they were doing the opposite. She was literally poisoning herself every time she took one of those vitamins. And who was the person who was shaving off all that lead and literally trying her husband? Ryan. All those white spots, her husband had been trying to poison her to death for months. Miraculously, after nearly 2 months.
Hope you guys enjoyed my video, and if you guys would like more of these makeover videos, I'll do more when I'm free, because I have a lot to study and I don't study at all. So yeah, I really enjoy doing makeup. So if you guys enjoyed this video, just let me know in the comments. Even if it's hate comments, I really don't care. I do enjoy seeing all of them. And please don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and all that. Yeah. And if you would like to see my TikToks, I would also give that in the description. If you're interested, you can just go check out my TikTok as well. And I hope you liked the makeup look. I don't know if this turned out Latina, but I think it's somewhat closer. I don't think it's bad at all. It's pretty good. And I didn't use any powder because I generally don't like using powders, because I just feel like it makes me look a little darker. Maybe it's because of something that I'm doing wrong, I don't know, but yeah. And my foundation is yellow, I know that, but the concealer makes it look better. So